very good morning and welcome to another Daily Dose. Today I want to encourage us all to be a good neighbor. For some of you that's going to be a massive stretch, and a half nice, half decent neighbor will have to do. For the rest of you, can I encourage you not just to be a good neighbor but a great neighbor. And so I don't know if you've maybe done an audit on yourself in the last while, but as I have, I've noticed how selfish I am, making sure I'm okay, my family's okay. And even my prayer life has been around, God, provide for me. God, won't you protect me? Won't you come and bless me? And it's just been very selfish. And so maybe there's some more of you out there. And even then, I think it's also a little bit indicative of the age that we've been living in, where everyone is so selfish, self-consumed and concerned with what they need and what they want. We live in a very hedonistic and narcissistic generation, by and large at least. And for those of you that might just recognize that in yourself, even in these last couple of weeks, we can in our lockdown be very self-protective. I want to come and call us out from that. And so the Bible talks about the royal law of Scripture being love your neighbor as you love yourself. And so I don't know about you, but I've come to recognize that I really love myself. I clip my nails, I cut my hair. Sometimes I come and brush my teeth, and when I've got holes in my teeth, I go to the dentist and I get them fixed, and I make sure I've got food, and there's just a whole bunch of self-care that goes into me. But I also, there's certain things I like to read, and I'll make sure I can read them, and I like to watch, and I love myself. I make sure that I am catered for in so many different ways. And so I wonder if you could just for a moment think of yourself and how much you love yourself and how much you care for yourself and how much you cater for yourself. And I'm not saying that's entirely wrong, but we also need to come and remember that God calls us to think outwardly and to look outwardly, and He's calling us to love our neighbors as we love ourselves. And so in this season of lockdown, as we've come and locked ourselves away, where we may have inadvertently come and almost fertilize that seed of selfishness inside of us, I want to encourage us today to actively war and rage against that selfishness and to be a good neighbor. And so you may not be able to go all over the place. You might be locked in at home, and you may not be able to be a good neighbor to a multitude out there, but I would have a guess that in your building, in your house, wherever you're staying, you've got neighbors around you, and you can be a good neighbor to them. In fact, I want to call you to be a great neighbor. I want to ask you to reach out to a neighbor today, tomorrow, the next day. When you see them, greet them. Put a smile on your face. Say, hello, how are you? Check in with them. How are you doing? How are you feeling? How things going? And then ask if there's anything you can do to help them, how you can come alongside them. Maybe they're elderly and you can go and do a shop for them. Maybe they're despondent and despairing and you can make a cake for them. If you do that, you're certainly going to be a great neighbor. My point that I'm making is this. Can you, as an act of war against any kind of selfishness that lives inside of you, begin to think of a neighbor? Reach out to them. Don't do it in a tokenistic way, but do it in a relational way, that maybe the gospel might cross a bridge into their lives in that moment. As you are being a good neighbor, reaching out over to them into their lives, who knows, maybe the gospel could come and change their lives for them. It's been wonderful to see some of you that have already been doing that, and I want to encourage those of you that haven't or are not to do it now. Reach out and be a great neighbor today. God bless you. Thanks for watching.